the way it is because it's a team game. So we have ourselves Pina Colada. Let me get through these here and then I'll do the introduction. So Pina Colada we have seen before. It's a very bright map and it is in the ladder rotation. So there you go. You can see everybody has down to the 1 ratings on that. And there's a bit of reclaim to be had, particularly in the middle. There's a couple of destroyer wrecks that you sort of don't want to miss out on. A whole bunch of mess right there. So let's have a look at the teams. And first off, on the left hand side, team 1 is blue, team 2 is red. First up the top here for team number 1, we have Echo Chamber. He is Aeon and Cyan. He's grabbing his first factory with a bit of a double adjacency there. Has a Hydro he can grab, so we're all good on that front. Down from him in the blue color, it is Nycad, the battery that, well, I don't know. Can it do it this time? Is it the battery that can or is it the battery that can't? Either way, he's UEF, he's blue, got his first factory for adjacency, and his comm is walking already. He wants to get some of that juicy reclaim. A little bit further down from him, in light blue color, it is Early Doors. And Early Doors has obviously had the call to get your butt moving, let your engineers do the building and come get the reclaim because his command is on the way. And finally for team number 1, in the lavender color, down the bottom, it is Theodore 1746. I don't know if that's reference to a year, if anything interesting happened in that year, I got no idea. But he's here, he's Submarine, and for some reason he's building PGens instead of his Hydro, and now he's walking forwards. Looks like just want to get a bit of stable economy. No, he's actually helping build all that when he's got a Hydro right there. Don't do this, folks. You have a Hydro. So, with your initial resources that you have, when you come in, you can build a factory, you can build 4 mixers, and you can build the Hydro, while producing engineers from that first factory, if it's close. So he's doing very bad things. Alright, let's have an introduction to team number 2 then. First off, team number 2, down on the bottom side, yellow color, UEF, finishing his Hydro like the good boy he is. It is Jonty 954. No stall on that. That is a solid build right there. Grab some extra mixtures, you'll be good. Up from him in the burgundy color, it is Hexed, and Hexed is Seraphim. His command is already going for a wander somewhere. I heard it walking. I just simply can't see it. All the way up here, actually, way up in the water, so he's definitely going for the mess like those guys are. Above Hexed in the straight out red color as Aeon, it is Saturn Rising, and he too is walking his way towards the front. Escape is stop. Yeah, fair enough. Last player for team number 2 in the orange color, another Aeon, so there's no Submarine for team number 2, and this is Mixer on his way towards the front. So team 1 has no Seraphim, and team 2 has no Submarine. Let's see how this works out for them. But in the middle is where things are going to start first off, because there is a 2 versus 1. We have Nycad and Early Doors in the mix, whilst it's only Hexed with his comm. I feel like he can probably reclaim that from within the water though, so he should be okay. Whereas Saturn Rising is a wee bit behind there, going to take him some time to catch up. Also on this map, there's some interesting little structures. Random civilian buildings, you know, a nice resort, but there is fighting going on here, and that is Hex saying hello to Early Doors, who's basically going to ignore him because he can just dip into the water anytime he wants and be perfectly safe. Right, but I'm going to have a little chat about these buildings. So, if you ever wanted to go to a nice holiday resort, and we've got trees, we've got beaches, we've got lovely lakes, you can have some pina coladas over these, or you can just send some engineers and reclaim them and get yourself some extra mass. My casting voice is TV worthy? Well, thank you. I have worked to try and cultivate it a little bit, but also comes from nature. If I didn't have this voice from birth, then I wouldn't have this voice, so it's all good. Right, Early Doors, as I said, he's just ignoring all the shots and he is going for the reclaim. This has helped his team out. See, Nightcat's doing the same thing, focusing on the reclaim, but we have a wee bit of a run by here. Got one scout who is tickling away at an engineer, not going to get much done on that front. In the meantime, the Aurora is carrying on without the extra radar vision from that. Oh, absolutely. I do not profess to have the best voice. I have a good voice, but definitely do not have the best voice. There's many people out there with a better voice than me. Anyway, this Aurora has actually gone all the way through. Might get a... well, it wants to kill the Interceptor. An Interceptor dying to an Aurora is an absolute embarrassment, and there it is. Early Doors loses an Interceptor to a tank. No, you just don't. Right, 2 engineers coming this way, and now it's going to turn and face onto those. Are they enough to kill it? Oh, they had to sat still. They might have got the reclaim off, but as it is, the Aurora moves away, and Star's trying to do that. Bash and Bam. Bam, yes. Bam's good. I do like his mustache. Has to be said. Yeah, that's on there. This Aurora now has to run away because it has no radar, so we can't see this one catching up to it. And that died from, well, another Aurora, so Spirit goes down. These two guys have no radar. They will be outranged by those that do. You know, bad time there. In the middle, and Saturn Rising has slapped down the mix. How long it's going to last, nobody knows. Nightcat's still here with this comm and just doing some reclaim missions. Right. Hello, what we've got down here, we have early Navy presence from Jonty. He's got a couple of subs out. One all the way back here and one coming on up. And, well, he could actually do a Navy deny. As long as he's paying attention and doesn't let the subs get reclaimed, they can actually come in here and prevent any Navy, especially because these are not hover engineers. Submarine engineers don't hover, so they can be targeted by torpedoes if they go into the water, and that's going to prevent, these can prevent the Navy. If it was me, I would be tempted to go, let's not worry about building more Navy. Let's get our echo up a bit. Definitely want to reinforce this position because your opponent is doing exactly that. But I hear more fighting and it's going on up here. It is Mixer who has decided his commander wants to come and join in the fun. He's got a bunch of units supporting him as well. Here a whole lot of Auroras, and that could spell problems for Echo if he's not careful, because those Auroras will outrange Commander, no upgrades on either of them, and that's going to be it for the land factory. Echo maybe doesn't want to walk in that direction. Then again, Mixer is looking pretty low, and nope, still needs to run away. Still needs to keep distance of that, and you see exactly what those Auroras are doing, sitting at range, killing things off, but they lose their radar now. So they won't be able to use that range effectively, and they actually switch up to head in this direction. Looks like they're going to go for the main base of Echo. I am hearing a T1 PD somewhere. Maybe this one. Got itself a few kills, so some units tried to sneak on through. They're not going to get anywhere like that though. They're just going to pick them off as they come over the water. And yes indeed, these units tried to go up, and Frigate was going to intercept, but just too many Auroras for it to do so, and a submarine turned up, so problems for the top section. Echo Chamber needs help, and NICAD has sent over some units to do exactly that. These strikers will absolutely do for the Auroras. The problem is the ones that strikers can't get to up here, they're going to roll into the back of Echo's base. Having a quick look at the rest of the map, and what do we have? We have, this is Hex pushing on up, no upgrades on his comm, massive armies in front of him, but the water's right there, he can just duck into it and be safe. This direction, there we go, and submarines doing exactly as they do, just loitering around the place waiting for things to go through. And T2 Navy, so Jonty goes, well, there's no Navy coming from my opponent, I'm just going to go T2. Why not? If we can. We check on the top side, and actually looks kind of similar. That is a destroyer out for Echo Chambers. He's gone T2 Navy as well. He's lost a bunch of his build power to the incoming boats from Mixer, and Mixer does not have T2 Navy. He started an upgrade, he's going to need more build power on that, he's going to have some problems. We have a check over this direction. It is Saturn Rising, still walking around with this comm, trying to get things done. No upgrades on there, just picking off units, ducking in and out of the water as he goes. Down this direction, that is an upgraded comm. Early doors, a double gun Aeon commander. Not the nicest thing to have coming your way, but Hover, Zooey's just skipping around it and looking to do some damage over here. Unfortunately, there is a commander and there are units, so won't get much more done. They do take out a T2 Max, that's not going to be fun for them. But early doors is the problem. That commander supported by these units is going to be able to just go for a wander and kill all sorts of things. Not great for him. Okay, check back up the top, and the Hover is doing as Hover does, just swiping straight over the land, clearing out this little expansion that belonged to Echo Chamber. Is going to die, and the Hover's going to have problems with the destroyer, which can also clean up this section here, but it is just the one destroyer. Gun upgrade going down for NICAD. He's about to get pushed by a lot of units though. It's a lot of Hover coming, and also the Fervors with the T1 Arty and the range on those should be a cautionary tale. They don't want to walk in range of the T1 PD, which is going to buy NICAD enough time to finish that upgrade. Destroyer has come down from Echo Chamber, repaying the favor of the help he had beforehand, and yep, he needs to move. He does not want to stand still when there is T1 Arty Fire coming over. That will do a huge amount of damage to your commander should he get prioritized, which not yet. Okay, now he's been able to pick off those units. There's lots more coming though, and Destroyer plus the commander from Saturn Rising, who actually thinks, yeah, nah, not staying around when there's a Destroyer. Units pushing through here as well. The Hopper is making its way over, running to a band from NICAD plus the Destroyer. They won't get too much done. Let's have a quick check down the bottom side, and that push from early doors has wiped this section out. Factories are going down. Commander's having fun, got himself rank of veterancy. No dramas for that guy. Absolutely waltzing through this section. Not much to stop him. And hello, that's a cruiser. Jaunty with a cruiser, and he's building a second naval factory. I think maybe he wants to focus on his eco a little bit. Let's have a look at what he's got. Jaunty is sitting on 43 mass income. His opponent, who is over here in the nice lavender color, Theodore, is well, he's ahead of him. When he's not power stalling, he's got 65 eco. So he's 20 eco ahead of his opponent. He's been focusing on that quite a bit. Jaunty needs to get this cruiser down this way and start picking off as much as he can while he can before he loses it. And speaking of losing things and cruisers in the water, hello. Hex has grabbed himself a T2 factory right here. Precarious position. I don't think you even need Hover to kill that. Just seen some T1 Arty rolling up and they will die. Commander is coming over from early doors as well, and Hexcom can't really fight that. He is quite injured. This direction, what do we have going on? There we go. T2 Navy in the water from Echo Chamber is starting to pick off the mixers on the front of Mixer. Mixer does have T2 Navy back here. He's got a lot more build power on that now, so he can start rolling his own off the factory. Doesn't want to send them in one by one though. Wants to try and consolidate a little bit before they go through. NICAD, the better they could, grabbing T2 on his comm, and plenty of units down here ready to support, and Mixer is on the run. A heavily damaged commander. No ranks of veterancy, going to take a while to regenerate all that health, and no upgrades either, so not really combat capable. Needs to stay out of the way. Units down here doing as hover units do, picking things off at range, which is what you definitely need to do with the Roars. You don't want to move into the Mixer like is about to happen. There we go. This is the correct response from NICAD. Charge the units in. Strikers will absolutely devastate Auroras. They have basically twice the health. 155 versus 300. It's a no-brainer. They will absolutely romp over those guys. Down here, and well, the push has been repelled by the look of it. Yes, indeed, the push has been repelled. These units have had to fall back. These T1 bombers are here. Riptides, yes, we go. Riptides in here from Jaunty. They have helped stem this type, but he needs to get the cruisers up and start killing the eco. I mean, look at this. You got some T2 mixers completely unprotected. Just lob those tac missiles at those. T1 bomber comes over here to join in the front, and that will be really handy. Tunk, tunk. More missile, and it will go pop. 2 more missiles, it will go pop. I tell a lie. And there's the next salvo coming over. And the fun thing about cruisers, of course, is the way that they kill the mass. So look at that, with the extra missiles that are in flight, the missiles keep impacting on the wreckage and they reduce the amount of reclaim you can get from it. Most irritating, but this is what it does. Now then, T2 Air is available for Theodore, and he's building torpedo bombers. He's going to need those to take care of the Navy. And we just have a quick look, speaking of Navy, right up in his face. There is a destroyer and it's having a go at the engineers that came along the way, but there is an Aurora sneaking up behind it, but the Aurora is actually taken out by the cruiser, which does have a little bit of firepower to it. I think it's got a frigate gun sitting on it, and down goes that destroyer there. This one off the rails from Mixer, and he can actually now push back. There's a single cruiser left, although having said that, Echo Chamber has been able to eco a little bit from that pause, and he got a couple more units into the water. In the middle, and it's looking like Team 1 at this stage. They control the midsection. They're also in the water in the middle. Early Doors has built his own factory, popping off some submarines, which will be a problem for a cruiser because cruiser has no kind of torpedo defenses. in this direction. Well, I wonder if they knew. Well, they do. They do know he's there. I would be swarming him. I'd be sending up more. Getting those torps onto there much quicker. More. Yeah, there we go. Torpedo boat. If you could interrupt that, which they're not going to because they're way too late to the party, needed more firepower to slow that down. In this direction, the hover is doing as hover does, taking away the... See, look at this. This is what he needed to do. Get the cruiser involved, get rid of the eco, kill stuff off. There's a destroyer helping to plonk out those units, and it is a problem for early doors. And also a problem for Theodore, who is popping up some zappers. He does not like the TAC missiles. And this direction, you can see while Jonty has been distracted in the middle, the torpedo bombers have taken out his submarines, and now there has been a naval factory built, which should be upgraded, I would presume, very promptly. Okay, over this direction, T2 on the ground for Hext. He's got some nice little Ilshivers. They will take care of basically all the T1. There's still submarines in the water there in the middle. I think your reclaim has been scooped up by these guys as well. Armies have been battling, fighting and dying. We see NICAD pushing on up in this moon as well, but that is a harbinger. So Saturn Rising has just been playing for time to get himself into T3 stage. Can he support it? Well, he's got a few T2 mixes, and it is T3 land, so not so bad compared to air. That harbinger wanders into a very bad place and promptly gets torn apart. Too many units, you got to get to range, and it is trying to run away. Looks like it might survive. Mixer, his comm is dropping back, but in the wars as well, cannot stay up that direction, and Mixer's navy is just starting to be a little more dangerous. 3 destroyers ready to go compared to the 2 from Echo, and if they stay together, they should be able to take things out nice and neat. Harbinger has just about got a shield back, maybe wants to think about going back into the fray and causing some more damage, especially as more is coming up from early doors. So 2 armies squeezing in together there, and that is a problem. If they swarm the Harbinger, it's going to have an issue. If the Harbingers can stay at range, they can do a decent amount of damage. They will outrange all of this, and that will be what will keep them alive. Over this direction, these subs, there we go, they have turned up towards the cruiser. And is that ground fire T1 bombers? I'm guessing it works because that is actually a dead submarine. Are they that low in the water? I don't think they were, but apparently they are, because the bombs are hitting and the bombs are doing damage. The subs are actually taking damage from the splash of T1 bombers. Today I learned they are shallow enough. T1 bombers can kill T1 subs if they're sitting still. Amazing. There's 2 cruisers here now though, and the HQ is looking pretty damaged. It's taking all the brunt of the fire, but there's only 1 sub left. It shouldn't take too much to kill off that. There we go. The army says no to wanting to tangle with Harbingers, has moved straight on up this way, and is looking to run into the back of Mixer's base. If they can do something like that, it'd be quite handy. 4 destroyers out now for Mixer. They prioritize down the 1 destroyer, and it dies a horrible death. There's 2 cruisers left alive up here. Not a lot in the water. Or echo chamber. 4 destroyers versus 1 and a couple of cruisers. It is going to be a problem there. The hover is coming through into the base. Some engineers going to get absolutely brutalized from that. So there's only a couple of tanks left though, and the destroyers should be able to pop those as well. There we go. Nice and handy. Base held. Harbingers moving to the front from Saturn Rising. Now that there's less in front of them, they can start cleaning up. They really want to stop this from happening. Grabbing the reclaim on the other side of the map. Don't let drop in and do it. This section has been completely cleaned out. So Theodore used to have stuff here, but between the destroyer, the cruisers, the shield boat and everything, it has all been totally cleared away and is ripe for reclaim. Having said that, somebody is going full submarine spam. Skyrun submarines are annoying with their stealth, so that makes them a bit harder to spot. You need units to basically be sitting on top of them with water vision, or me. So yeah, they're going to be able to just sneak up on things and start doing some damage before they get seen, and that is going to be a problem for Jonty if he's not watching out. Okay, T1 Army Hover meeting up with a T2 band of T2 Blazers, and as long as those Blazers keep moving and don't get caught by the voluminous amounts of T1 Artifire lobbing down on their heads, they should be fine. which is exactly what's happening. And here we go. Let the subs charge, and there's enough of them, plus the torpedo bomber, and that destroyer is going to have a really bad time. Something I have wondered though, and has been told to me, is that mass for mass, destroyers are actually better than T2 subs. Now I don't know the legitimacy, let me get that word out, the legitimacy of that, whether the destroyers are actually better mass for mass, but I do know they have a lot more health. A lot more health, but that is going to be a problem for Jonty because he has, well, he's got a couple of cruisers, a couple of shield boats, and then a couple of destroyers to try and fend off this. UEF destroyers are trash against subs because they're too versatile. Yeah, that's fair. See how that goes. Alright, trying to establish a base over here. Hex has built a factory and is trying to pop out units. Looks like he wants to grab that reclaim. But this little T2 army could just turn around and sweep that any moment it chose to. And now we see the subs are pushing on up. The question is, what's the response? Torpedo launchers? I don't think that's the right response. Okay, let's skip away, check back up on the top side here, and Echo Chamber is being pushed back. There's a single Vesper there, dies a horrible death. There's a couple of destroyers back here with some frigates, but the frigates are acting as a screen for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destroyers here, but I think one's about to die. Maybe, maybe not, but that one's going to kick the bucket in just a second. Oh, that's some pain. Hover is coming over still. A couple of cruisers are moving up front to support the destroyer. Possibly a bad idea. That might be why, because there's a torpedo bomber. Don't want to let that get its thing done. Still pushing up forwards is Nycad. He's held this position for a bit longer, grabbing the reclaim, as you do. More hover is running away from a destroyer in the middle, so T2 Navy in the mid from Mr. Early Doors is going to be a problem if he doesn't get some destroyers out of these, because that will be able to ramp all over them. And oh, the subs have fallen back, so they didn't like waltzing into maybe the unknown. But right now, I think a really good thing for Jonty to do would be to grab some air. Throw down a air factory, get it to T2 pronto, and rock out with some torpedo bombers. That will do well for taking out those subs. If your opponent is doing nothing but subs, you might as well. Right in the middle, there's a couple of T2 units just walking on past, then still getting stopped just in the nick of time to have a shot from that destroyer go over the front of him. But the second shot doesn't miss, because he's sitting still. Right, Ilshiva's doing Ilshiva things, and they are taking out the blazes over here. That's going to be well and dandy. Why are they focusing on the flank? I don't know. Maybe they're going for the highest mass value item, but it's not even that. Doesn't matter, they are on a rampage and they are going through with not a lot to stop them. There is some T2 PD down here, so there's a couple there under some shields from Theodore, but if those Ilshivas are clever, they'll go. Maybe they could sneak through the middle here, but maybe not. There's some more T2 PD being thrown down by Early Doors. Alright, and now we have it. These subs are doing submarine things. They're not, but they are getting shot back on. So they are being seen by something. Something has nice water vision range, probably the cruiser. And there we go. But here's what happens. They're within range of this, but they are just simply not seen. And amphibious tanks, they don't have water vision. They don't have water vision, so they cannot see. Where have they gone? Oh, they ran away. I'm pretty sure these don't have water vision, so they wouldn't be able to see the subs? Or am I mistaken with my thinking on that? Can they see the submarines? Indeedy. These craters, you mean these ones? Yeah, they're not bad. Bad little defensive walls. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, here's the test. We'll see if the subs can be seen by... Oh no, they're not moving forward. I thought they were going to move further up, but they're not. I heard a sonar get thrown down as well. There it is. Okay. Alright, so the subs are here. And they have just swung straight past. I think I saw the movement trail. Yep. Yeah, so it actually came up, it turned around. I saw the movement trail in the water, that little stream there. And it was right by the riptide, so no, they have zero water vision. They cannot see the subs. They'll be able to push on up. And speaking of subs, up the top here, it is Echo Chamber. He has gone full on Vesper. And That is apparently a scary prospect for these destroyers who are falling back. I wonder if they could ground shoot those. Very close to the surface, and I hear Titans. I know I hear Titans. Very distinctive. There they go. And they've just been cleaning up the remainder from Mixer. He's pushed over here again and taking some things out. And here we go. The destroyers. They're just ignoring the subs. Just gonna push right on past them. Dump their torpedo death charges from those guys onto the subs and take them all out just like that. But now they have this little wee flotilla to worry about, though there's not much to it. A few frigates, a couple of cruisers. I'd say still got the advantage in the water on that front. And coming up for support is Saturn Rising, throwing up a few blazes for their hover ability. We'll see how those get going in a moment. Down this direction, and the Navy from Jonty is pushing in, and now they can see those. Water vision from these guys definitely spots those submarines, and the cruisers have a problem. Cruisers are just absolutely defenseless against this kind of thing, and they will get absolutely trashed. Speaking of trash, you reckon these things are trash? Well, yeah. They are not doing very well at all. Coopers! There we go. That's a good idea. Coopers and shield boats will take care of this kind of problem. The biggest problem, of course, is the fact that they cannot see them. They do drop away once more. Okay. In the middle, it's a T2 Hopper Army getting hit by some TAC missiles, the remainder of what was launched down there before they retreated, and some Zoes doing the same thing, dropping a T1 RT blips over. But now these guys can move and just pass on through. Everything's hover in this. We have hover tanks, we have hover shields, we have hover flak, T2 hover army, and it's going to be able to go where the heck it wants. These Ilshivers need to be redirected down this way to slow them down, which they are, looks like they are. Yes, they're gradually getting there. And if we check up the top, and oh dear, these blazes from Mixer. Oh, actually, the blazes have been handed over from Saturn Rising. He was the one with the army. And Titans are coming up from NICAD to try and slow things down, but as good as they are, that's a lot of T2 to try and tangle with, plus the Navy off this coast. And the extra damage from the Navy, I think, is going to swing this well into Mixer's favour. Once those Titans go down, it's going to be just a few pillars left, and they won't last too much longer in the face of all of that. Dear. I know Wagner's come with torpedoes, but isn't them having torpedoes basically a joke? Like, I have heard that Wagner... Oh, this drops. These are Harvey drops. We have a bunch of T1. Oh no! Drop denied by the cruisers. Unfortunate. Unfortunate movement. If they had gone, just about got through, but that is a few Harveys and transports prevented by these two cruisers over here. They're going to be very happy those were in the region, but even as that happens, the hover from Mixer has reached the top and there's nothing on the ground to stop them. These blazers can just destroy to their heart's will. There are a couple of Auroras here, but they're not going to last very long at all once they get noticed. Although they're going to focus on the mass extractor apparently. Now they can kill the Aurora and just stomp through Echo Chamber's base. That's just bad. Speaking of bad though, down the bottom side there is a whole bunch of Barracudas coming in from Theodore. And what can see them? Well, he has got the Coopers out now. And he's got... Oh no, he doesn't have a shield boat. No shields to protect them, so those Coopers are actually very, very vulnerable without the shields. They've got some torpedo defense, yes, but that is a huge number of Barracudas they're trying to go against. They do give water vision to the torpedo launchers behind them, which is very handy, and that's going to help reduce the numbers of Barracudas, but how far can they see once the last one's dead? Well, that's not a good idea to push up that far because they are within vision and range of those tsunamis, and they will turn them into quite early bits of scrap. Still pushing out with the destroyers, but the Barracudas think they've done enough and they are going to walk away, leaving a whole bunch of reclaim to be had. Riptides are amphibious. Yeah, okay, they hover. Yep, so there's hover tanks and amphibious. The Wagners are amphibious, of course, but they have terrible torpedo DPS. And basically being ignored. T2RD has been slapped down here by NICAD. He wants to try and keep the Navy at bay. And this direction, there we go. Speaking of amphibious, Percy's are very amphibious. They love to go through the water, but they don't do any torpedo damage whatsoever. Right, this direction, and the Navy is holding its position, getting pushed back by T3 though. Titans are suggesting that maybe they don't want to stay near the coast. And Mixer now dropping these fellows back. Right, still looking at that. I hear T3 artillery somewhere. There it is. There's a Serenity out from Saturn Rising. What is going for? I have no idea. Hext is moving up with his comm. Wait. Oh wait, Hext is... Oh yeah, there is. That's his base. He's trying to shoot these guys away. I don't think he really wants to do that. We see here there's some mobile missile launchers lobbing their missiles over this ridge, and everything else is trying to direct fire through it. So fuck this ridge in particular, fuck the ground, point defense, Navy, all of it. Fuck the ground, it can all die. And this destroyer is a little bit too far away from his cruiser. The cruiser has attack defense, and at this rate that is going to be one very dead destroyer. If these missiles can figure out where the heck they're going, apparently they got very, very confused. Right, up this direction, and range from destroyer is going to pick off the harbingers very, very slowly, one at a time. Not so handy, but the T2 artillery here from NICAD doing the same thing, and those shells are going to land and cause issues. Use the army, move it or lose it, basically. Leave us sitting there and it's going to die. Sniper bots, I see that thing coming up from Hext. That's going to be a problem for anything in the middle because they will outrange all sorts of things on the ground. Still continuing with the submarine spam. And more barracudas coming on out. Oh no, he hasn't got into the game. He's gone T3 land, which is a really odd decision if you ask me. I guess he's going to walk them over. But I would have thought that perhaps getting some T2 air would have been a priority. And definitely getting... There we go, we do have a shield boat with Coopers in front. And he can grab all that mess now. It is well in his control. In the middle of that T2 naval factory is a rebuild. Because it used to be back here, so it has been rebuilt a little bit closer to the mid. Plenty of support on that. Got some tac defense just in case. And there we go. Now this cruiser has found the spot to sit at. And... oh, sniper bots coming though. And start thinking away at that. It's going to keep shooting back. Going to try to knock the shield down. Has killed off 2 of the point defense. Still 1 left though. And mobile missile launchers are firing at an engineer, which promptly moves out of the way. Survival for just... okay, let's have a brief look at... well, there's no air to speak of. The T1 air factory here. We've got a TR, there we go, got an air factory here going T3 from early doors. That's about 35% done, and on the way we have T3 land there from Theodore. T2 air, yep, so the T2 air factory there. So there is going to be T3 air soon from early doors for team number 1. For team number 2, well, you know, Jonty doesn't even have air, so we don't need to worry about him. In front of him we have T1 air for Hext. Above him in the red we have, well, we have a donut. So Saturn Rising isn't bothering with T3 air, he's just going donut. Now it's like, well, I get that. If you haven't drawn your opponents into making T3 air, a donut could be well worth it. But speaking of T3 air, there we go. Mixer has T3 air. He has the power to run it, and he is producing plenty of torpedo bombers. So he wants to, well, this is why this is a battleship. So Echo Chamber has got T3 Navy. What's he doing it on though? But like, he's just finished rebuilding these mixers. His base got absolutely devastated, but he did complete a battleship, and it is now going to boss that top pond. Maybe not. I see a whole bunch of things that are going to ruin that battleship's day, which it has zero protection from. Submarines. And unless that kind of thing happens, where there's ground, but oh, don't run away with the subs. Push. It's only a battleship. I say only. It's got like no torpedo defense whatsoever, no torpedo attack. Neither does this frigate, neither do these cruisers. That is a battleship that is just waiting to die from subs. It'll take some time, but... well, hello, here comes the air wave. Torpedo bombs coming on in. They're going to have problems with the cruisers, but they're going to get a good run on the battleship in the first instance, do a bunch of damage, and the subs need to move forwards because the subs are the things that can kill it with impunity. No dramas on their front. There's some hover trying to go through. It's not going to get there. The gunships and torpedo bombers are now focusing on the cruisers. Want to kill those off before too much damage is done by them. Percy's in the water, just sort of like loitering around. There we go, 2 cruisers down, and now this battleship has no protection whatsoever. Is there any air? Oh, there is. There's some interceptors right here. Early doors with the air wing that could come over and help clean this problem up, but he is not using it for some reason. Could kill those off nice and easy. Hopper once again being streamed to the north from Saturn Rising, joining his friend over this direction, and this might be why, because there's Percival's making their appearance. I need to redirect these gunships up this direction. Try and get a bit of an intercept going on there. I do see a Harbinger, but a Harbinger is literally zero match for a Percival. Percival will turret a new one. There goes the air wing from early doors. So interceptors have come over and they're finally taking out all the gunships. The problem is these giant clump of submarines as something crashes down upon them. And that is going to be a dead battleship. Nothing I can do against that. And if you throw in the destroyers, acting the extra damage, it's died so quickly. Alrighty, you're disappointed with the number of Salems. Yes, I hear you. But currently, the only person who can make Salems is this guy, and he is focusing 100% on subs. Nothing but submarines. He's got T3 land, and he has a lot of bricks. Oh my word, that's a lot of bricks. That is a dangerous land army. How many bricks is that? 20 bricks. Yeah, that is going to be something to try and contend with. And then of course, you know, they're amphibious and they've got torpedoes. Well, big torpedoes, but they could just walk up, come through the water, pop out and start decimating all sorts of things. There is some combat units here. There's some reclaim going on from Hext as well. Throwing down some T2PD. There's a shield there. There's a sniper bot. Mobile missile launchers. They can start lobbing some bits out. Maybe they can take out the HQ. There is, of course, the tech defense, which maybe the sniper bot could prioritize to let those missiles get through. Would be nice, but that's not what it is. In the top section, we can see the push coming from NICAD. Got plenty of T3 on the ground. They've got a spearhead, Titans, and some shields and flak. It's going to be a hard thing to take to try and stop coming through. But that's Harbingers, and that's a lot of Harbingers. How's the donut? Donut is going up pretty quickly, and there's the T3 air coming over from early doors, so they're going to know. Oh, the scout didn't make it. Scout didn't make it. I thought it had gotten through and that they knew it was there. Maybe they had previously scouted it. I don't know, but I didn't see a mention of it down this direction. It's still producing subs. And this is not what you want to do. You don't want to chase subs down with your Coopers without the shields. And hello to the bricks, and the bricks are actually going to tear this navy a new one once they get in close. There we go. Watch the health disappear off these things. The shields will just drop into nothing, and yes, run is the command. Run is the necessary order. They got to get away from this. Look at what they just do to navy. Percivals are moving on up, but Percivals don't want to go in the water. They want to stay on the lands and kill the bricks as they come out of the water one by one. This is not the right move. Percivals have no torpedoes, bricks do, and they will use those torpedoes against the defenseless Percivals. Percy's this way, please. Percy's this way. But having said that, if the Percys move through, perhaps they could cause the bricks to turn around and come back. That wouldn't be a bad thing, actually. Force them to stop and turn around. But get out of the water. Get out of the water. Not where you need to be. T1 bombers popping overhead of the little 4 base here for Hex. There's apparently no anti-air at all, no flak, no nothing. And those T1 bombers can just have their way with whatever they want. Saturn Rising finishes the donuts. And they must know it exists. But even as we look up the top, hello, this is an aircraft carrier? Well, Echo Chamber was really sticking with the T3 Navy side of thing, but now there is Navy all up in his face. Plenty of submarines, and they're going to focus down the T3 HQ first. This is the right idea. Get rid of the Eco before you kill the commander in a later game, because they can just use that for whatever they want. Torpedo bombers are coming out though, so you don't want to leave it going. There goes the T3 HQ. It's going to be a pain to try and get back. The Navy destroyers, there we go. They're killing off the Eco. That belongs to NICAD, and it is Echo Chamber going to die in a very profitable position for him. Gets rid of all the subs. I'm going to say profitable for his team, not for him. He's dead. He's absolutely dead. Aircraft carrier won't last long. All these destroyers are going to say hi, and it's going to go sinking to the bottom of the ground very shortly. Lots of ASFs though. Here we go. This is out from early doors. He's got a bundle of ASFs ready to take on that Czar, which simply has no support on the ground at all. And speaking of things that needs no support, is bricks. Air will trip them up, and this is where the Tsar should go, I feel. Should come down here and take out these, because there's nothing on the ground to slow these bricks down. There's some point defense, a little bit, but one T2, a few T1. By the time they see the bricks, they're basically dead. There we go, just like that. And what is the call? Well, he had started the chicken, had hexed, but now he's changed his mind. He's grabbing out some Vulus. Gunships to come and start dealing damage to the bricks. You've got to do something, because they are on a rampage. And speaking of rampages, right behind them, all the harbingers from early doors. They are squeezing their way out the middle here, and that's not going to bode well for any of this. It's all going to die horrible, horrible deaths. The bricks, in fact, are heading down this way, and ooh, a battle cruiser. That is going to help immensely and desperately needed to try and help fend off all of this if it can hit its targets. Which it can't, because they're underwater. But what can I do here? Broadswords. So there we go. Jonty has got into the air game. He's got a broadsword out, which is going to do some good damage against a brick, but that direct beam fire weapon just misses so horribly. Units moving on an angle just can't be tracked. Look at that. Just fires straight past it, and yeah, that's horrible. These bricks are just dominating the space. There's nothing on the ground to slow them down. There is a single broadsword about to die from the air wing that belongs to early doors. Are they taking advantage of their air wing being down there? No, they're not. The aircraft Tsar is still being the Zari things. Hover. Charging into the back of NICAD's base. Not going to get too much done though. There are Percival's and some point defense in range. There is going to be a failed raid attempt on that side, but this has been an incredibly successful raid attempt by Theodore. These bricks have turned Jonty's base into just wreckage. Lots of reclaim though, but basically wreckage. These were T3 mixers. Huge loss. He's lost his T3 power, he's lost his T2 power, he's lost all his power. He's lost basically everything. And now he is surviving based on the units that he has on the ground in the water. And that's all he's got. Bricks are pushing up this way now. They think, okay, we're done Jonty. Let's go say hello to Hexed. Now the problem is, between Hexed and his bricks, Saturn Rising with a huge number of harbingers, and they will pick off these bricks as they come in. They slow one by one almost. Donut down, donut down. Yep. No air support. This is not surprising to me at all. With zero air support, the ASF wing from early doors could just sweep past, probably get on one pass, maybe two, but there was just nothing to slow it down, nothing to stop it, sorry, nothing to protect it. It's not a good investment to do an air experimental when you don't have air. It just doesn't work. I feel like a better choice would have been a GC. Throw down a Galactic Colossus and move on through. Bricks still, well, they basically finished off Jonty's base, and now they're looking for something else to kill. We're going to find some Navy. There's a T3 Naval HQ, but there is a shield boat just covering it. It's going to keep it alive, and the bricks are going to go down. But Jonty needs to rebuild. He's got T3 on his comm, so he could walk back out and start rebuilding on the destroyed structures. Instead, his comm is staying right there, helping with that. Wrong move, buddy. Get yourself out. And, ooh, torpedo bombers, they're coming for... I don't know what they're coming for, but there's cruisers that are going to stop it, and shield boat. I think they're going for the comm. Uncertain, but yeah, he needs to get out and rebuild all of this. Alright, single Ravager down here having the time of his life, killing an engineer. Or NG. Right, up this direction, let's have a quick check back up the top pond, and, well, the Navy... Oh, low torrents. They're going to be a painful thing to try and stop. The amount of missiles they throw out is just record-breaking. Titans are coming their direction to try and slow things down, but this is what torrents do to bases. So many missiles just streaking on in. There's enough TMD here for now, that's going to be alright. Hex Finch is building a unit. What's he built? There we go, he's built the clever thing, a land experimental. Yeah, and this is going to be a Thota being able to walk on out and do what it can. Some ASFs do turn up overhead for what reason, I don't know, but they are taken up by SAMs and ground AA. Not the best place for them to be. The Thota could come along and kill this army. Very, very nice if it did, and very, very useful. And here we go, what's this? Percival's moving underwater again. If they can get onto this spot here, along the edge of the water, they could actually kill the missile ships quite easily. They need to be a little bit careful of this and not let it happen, although the Percivals are taking some torpedo fire. Now then. Hello. Double monkey from Theodore, so he's had not much pressure on him, and he has done himself a favour by building 2 monkeys, and those are going to be a problem. Shavar spotted them. Hello, Strat Bombers. Are they going for somebody in particular? I think they are. There they go. They are going for, well, actually, Eco. Now they switch up, going for more Eco. Some power generators up here. Well, yep, they're dead. Probably aimed that wrong. So you see, they killed that. If they'd aimed ground fired there, they would have killed all 3 of these structures. As does they directly attacked the power generator and only killed that. They had to do a second pass to finish off the rest of it. But still, those are strats and they are wreaking havoc upon Mixer's base. There are some SAMs over here trying to do as best as they can, but my word, it's a problem. Right, the strats still doing their thing. Nothing really to slow them down. Plenty of anti-air on the ground is necessary. There's the chicken. And the chicken is just killing stuff over here at range because it outranges all of those ground units, and it just sitting back, having the best time of its life, spitting out those things, kablooka, splat, all those kinds of words that you got, and it is going to be able to just shrug all of that off, especially with the extra support. Where are the monkeys though? Those things are going to be very important. Well, monkeys discovered a GC, so Mixer had actually built a GC, but 2 versus 1 against monkeys, GC's going to lose it. Did kill off 1 monkey as you can see here, but 2 versus 1 is not good for its health. Torrents now, there we go, that's what I thought might happen. The Percy's on the edge and they are able to just brutalize those things from the beach, and the torrents are going to go down quite easily in that situation. Down here though, the chicken continues its push, and even as it does, this little 4 base is going to have a lot of problems because the T3 supporting the chicken as well. The shield's going to go down and all those point defense, boom, there they go. Nothing left now, and everything can just romp through that section. But defending GC coming out from early doors, so he's got his own ground presence and he's just consolidating his forces. Doesn't want to walk into too much, but supporting bricks coming over from Theodore. All well and good. Monkey just walking through everything, and the question is, what is there to stop this thing? 3 ranks of veterancy, 28,000 health. What's a battleship? I don't know why it's not shooting at the monkey. That should be a priority target, you'd think. There we go. Shots coming on, starting to do some extra damage there, but the question is, what else can kill it? It is about to just wander through Mixer's base and kill as much as possible. Battleship trying to do this thing. Back over this direction, the chicken has, well, it has encountered the GC. In fact, it's turned around from the GC. What's it running away from? I don't know, but there's a battleship in the middle as well. Strat bombers on the chicken. Chicken is now opening up on the GC as well as the Harbingers having to go. Big, massive old fight here. Chicken trying to do something. Mixer looks like he walked his comm out of the water to try and take on the Monkey Lord. It did not work. And Michael promptly kills him and continues on his rampage through the base, but over this direction it is Chicken versus GC. GC tunes away, Chicken now pushing on in. GC cannot fire backwards, and that may be why it's forced away because of the battleship back this direction too. Chicken's in a lot of pressure though, 50,000 health, but it's being hit by a Fat Boy. I see that fire. Strats. GC tries to turn around, but the Chicken now needs to charge in here and chew as much of this eco up as possible. There's so much air to be had. Monkey killed GC, absolutely. Chicken just needs to keep moving before it dies, get in as close as possible so that the death balloon will kill extra stuff, but it's not going to happen. Killed a lot of the air grid, but critically did not kill the HQ. Maybe the lightning storm will, we never know, but it's going to kill off some things. All these units that are going to sit around, and will it get the HQ? It drifts in this direction, it has a possibility of doing so, but doesn't quite look like it. Not hitting the air units because it doesn't, but it will hit ground units like Percival's. They're going to have a bad time. Oh, they almost got the HQ. Backward moving up, not a great plan, but that should run out shortly. Say that, but it's still going. And is it going to kill the Fat Boy by proxy? No. Oh, lucky. Lucky that lightning storm just ran out. Right, over this direction, this monkey did get stopped by GC from Saturn Rising, so now they're looking not too bad. In comes some air, they're going to have a go at the battleship. There is a aircraft carrier back this direction. Nice fast direct fire weaponry, some lightning tanks off the coast as well. That's going to help slow things down, but I don't think the battleship's going to make it out of that. Well, having said that, these are just Spectres. They're only T2, although having said that, they're doing a lot of damage, and the lightning tanks, oh no, they're going to lose it. Battleship's not going to survive that. Another battleship is about to be rolled off the rails, however. And it's going to be very solid. Why are you doing this? You don't have air. You don't have air control. Why? Oh, the why doesn't matter. Because incoming is a Fat Boy. Let's check out how the bottom pond is going. Well, that's how the bottom pond is going. How many is that? Seriously, 19 Barracudas. Well, they're going to make short work of everything, and well, they have been seen, but they just got so much firepower that all this is just dying in half a second flat. Are you kidding me? How long ago did his base get demolished? He's only just rebuilding it now? I'm sorry. We've been looking at other stuff like for so long, and he hasn't rebuilt his mixes or anything. Mind boggles. Anyway, in here, these are all dying horrible deaths, and these Barracudas will be able to just sweep on through and kill as much as they want to. In the middle, the aircraft carrier got a bit too close to anything. The GC has walked right into the middle of all of this and is going to turn it into junk. The Harbinger's following in, going to join in the fun. Some Fat Boy fire coming over the ridges. There we go. That's going to do for the GC and everything else. The Spectres over here. There's plenty of anti-air though. Redeemers are showing up. We see T2 RD fire going for the GC. The GC wants to swing south maybe. Well, it looks like he's making a beeline for this little 4 base here. Take that up would be good. Navy has been rebuilt by NICAD. This has gone back into the Navy game in the top one, wanting to be somewhat useful. And GC is doing his thing, trying to do what it can, but that's a lot of Percivals. Percivals are very good in numbers. I mean, just about anything's very good in numbers, but Percivals are basically the UEF's answer to walking experimentals. They have long range, they have massive alpha damage, and that GC is about to die. Gonna get in here, it's going to die, it's going to fall over. And take, I don't know how much it's going to take with it. Kneels, and face plants. Took a few shields out, I guess, but now it is Redeemers running to the front of Harbingers, running into the Percivals, running into the Fat Boy, which is actually retreated underwater. A good push, but maybe too much left behind. Mass donated, yes indeedy. Now down this direction we can see that the battleship, well, the aircraft carrier is down and the battleship is now under pressure from bricks, a lot of bricks. Holy moly, that is a... What has he got? 32 bricks in this army. There's a Rambocom, an overcharging Rambocom, plus the chicken, and these are going to be good for wiping those bricks out. Though having said that, it's a lot of bricks, and I think that chicken could be in danger. It ran into these all at once. The support commander is going to be very beneficial with overcharges, knocking off bricks one by one, distracting the bricks as well. But having said that, it's got a good amount of regen. Yes, it does, has the nano regen ability. And now, here's the issue though, the bricks are just ignoring them and carrying on. These two battleships are going to go down. What's on the ground to slow them? Well, not much. T1 PD trying to be spammed up, but it's no good. Bricks outrange T1 PD and they'll be able to just destroy them quite easily. Big line of redeemers, what are they doing? They're trying to kill the ASFs, because what are the ASFs doing? They're trying to kill the Tsar. Look, you have no air control. Your Tsar is going to die before it even gets off the ground. It was almost built. It almost made it into the sky. Now, it's just going to die. I mean, I guess they could build on the wreck, but that is just so much time and mass wasted. Yes, Early Doors has thrown away his air to do that, but he's got no worries because the other team is not building any air at all. They are 100% relying on ground power to take care of that. NICAD has built an experimental of his own. Probably a fat boy. Yep, there we go. Theodore's built another experimental. He's got 3 experimentals, 3 monkeys ready to go. And he's just basically been ignoring Jonty. Jonty's still trying to build units with his comm. Again, his comm is T3. He should have dragged his comm out the water, rebuilt on his dead items to get his eco back up and running. 3 monkeys, no crab. Yeah, but you know, monkeys have stealth. That makes them good, right? Thought a crab might have been the better answer. But back in this direction, we see there are chickens being made, and chickens will just beat monkeys. Easy. That Ryzen trying to get himself a T3 shield generator up to protect all of this, and not doing much with this. I wonder if he's going to try to rebuild it. Find out a little bit later. Battleships in the middle, they're having fun. The Rambo comms, advanced Rambo comms, sorry, from Hex, so they're the ones with overcharge. He also controls the top sea for the moment. Got plenty of eco up this direction. He's got an aircraft carrier plus a battleship. Maybe wants to think about nudging them forward a tad. There's a destroyer and of course T3 Navy here, which is now producing summits. So NICAD got T3 Navy in the top there. And what else have we got going on? Well, we've got a nuke defense. We have a nuke launcher. So Early Doors starting a nuke launcher over there. And down this direction we have, nope, it's still just bricks. And it's still just T2 Navy and still just Barracudas. I'm so surprised there's nothing else. But here come the monkeys. They're absolutely doing their thing. Alright, up in the top section, yeah, the aircraft carrier, the submarines are here, the battleship behind, strange formation, but that's what it is. Engineers doing reclaim orders over here. Now, are you sure you can't build on a wreck? It died all on the ground. Now, it looks like that's, you're quite right on that. There we go, the commander is walking his way to build another one. It has to come and scoop these wrecks up first though, because they are in the way. Sure, he'll get some assistance on that. Chicken in the middle, but this is the problem. Triple monkey trouble. And they are just going to waltz right over all of this. And that should be ringing alarm bells for Jonty. Monkeys, come and say hello. Come say hello to your navy, and your navy's going to have a really bad time. As soon as those lasers light up, it's all dead in a matter of seconds. Brutality. Absolute brutality. Factory down, units down. Now the sub's coming in after everything's been cleaned up, and it's pretty much GG for all of that. Which means Hext wants to get out of the water and run the middle, and this has been a support commander, gets killed by the GC, but Chicken is there to help clean up the mess, and there's still another support commander available. Battleship now pushing up the middle, the aircraft carriers right beside him. Some air comes in to try and block the scouting, but the scouting gets through. T1 scouts will be able to see everything, including this nuke launcher, which is completed and building a nuke very, very quickly. There's a lot of assistance. That bar is going up really fast. Question is, have we got anything to stop that? Any SMDs? Not seeing one in this space, and not seeing one in this space. Oh, there is. No assistance on it though, and it is loading very... Well, it's loading okay. It's loading okay, but I think the nuke is loading faster with all the assistance that's on it up this direction, and your navy has been caught by a fat boy. Your battleship is gonna die. Because your battleship is busy shooting at the battlecruiser. Get in the subs. Subs need to help kill that off. Because, yeah, 2 fat boys now. Alright, that's the end of that. Never mind. You're going to need a lot of battleships to try and take those on. In the middle, though, we see that chicken is still walking around. We see these aircraft carriers doing their thing against the ASFs. They're getting absolutely picked out of the sky nice and easy. A couple of battleships are in the region. They can move on into this gap and start killing things off. That would be a very, very useful thing to do. But there we go. Up here, the navy is decimated. Battleship's dead. Carrier spins over, turns in his grave, and sinks to the bottom. And yep, as expected, the whole navy from here has been wiped out. Jonty is gone. Hex did evac his commander, but there's still 3 monkeys they have yet to deal with, and well, what can they do? Absolutely nothing. Lots of T2PD, but it's not shielded at all, and it dies horrible, quick deaths without that. Plus, of course, it is 3 monkeys. 3 monkeys would make a quick death out of basically anything, including this chicken that is... Oh, it's not going to complete. Put it that way, it's going to die. And this is Hex. He's decided, yep, okay, GG. 3 monkeys. I am going to be a man. Nope. Thought he was going to be a man who walked to his doom, but he's changed his mind. He's turned around, decided to run away, and we'll see you later. As soon as they spot him, he'll die in like a second or 2. Overcharge takes off a chunk of health, but those monkeys are going to go high, and Hex is out of the game. 3 monkeys just don't run by nothing else good. Jonty's under the ground. I hear the chicken has made great strides this time, supported by plenty of anti-air, so the broadswords are getting it in the neck along with the carriers, and that chicken could have pushed right on through. The control hadn't been taken over. Keeps on moving. It can do a huge amount of damage to all of this, but Jonty is down. The monkeys are still out, and Saturn is right there. Do they not know? Well, they see him. They'd rather kill off all the eco. Saturn's Scum was just standing there right in the open. Surely they turn and kill him. There we go. There we go. Say hello, Saturn. Tap. Saturn is the last player of all.
Strategic launch detected.